Tonight, a hijabi sculpture takes the center stage. The artwork is meant to portray important but underrepresented parts of society. And Canada releases powerful posters to capture the essence of Islamic History Month. We cover stories about the disturbing rise in Israeli settler violence against Palestinians, the latest update on Nathaniel Veltman's trial, and a pre-launch of the first ever Muslim media hub in Canada. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I'm Zahra Sayed. A 5-meter tall sculpture is being unveiled in the Smetheg neighborhood of Birmingham to honor women who wear the hijab. It has been designed by renowned sculptor Luke Perry. The sculpture is called The Strength of the Hijab. Perry says the artwork represents an important but underrepresented part of the community. He points to the strong Islamic presence at Smetheg, where many women wear the hijab and believe public art should reflect those identities. He previously co-created the sculpture Black British History is British History. Despite criticism, the response to the new sculpture has been overwhelmingly positive. It is impressive in many ways for its size and detail. The sculpture has been commissioned by the Legacy West Midlands charity in the UK. The Government of Canada has unveiled a digital toolkit to promote content and events during Canada's Islamic History Month. This initiative is in collaboration with a campaign against Islamophobia by the Sisters Dialogue Group in Edmonton, Alberta. A number of images selected are from the campaign and spotlight Muslim women and girls from the local community. Faisa Omer, an Ottawa-based photographer, has captured these powerful images. The campaign has been launched in response to a series of hateful attacks on visibly Muslim women. Many of the targeted women are also Black. The posters are displayed on public transportation. They contain an important message: individual safety is the responsibility of all. One poster shows 3 women dressed in black leaning against each other. 2 of them are looking directly at the camera, and the third looking up. Another poster shows a touching moment between a mother and daughter. Their faces are in a close-up shot. An international human rights organization is warning of a concerning rise in violence by Israeli settlers in the occupied Palestinian territories. Euromed Rights, a network of 68 human rights organizations, has revealed its findings in a report in the recent session of the United Nations Human Rights Council. The report shows in the first 6 months of this year, there have been 1,148 settler attacks. The figure is nearly equal to the number of settlers' attacks that took place in 12 months in the previous year. Euromed is calling out the Israeli government's provocative rhetoric and protection of settlers from prosecution. Similar concerns are also shared by the UN Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs. It says since last year, more than 1,100 Palestinians have been displaced due to escalating violence and access restrictions. The current leader of Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, prioritizes settlement expansion. Several Israeli ministers have openly encouraged settler violence and promised further settlement expansion. All Israeli settlements are illegal under international law. For more on the funding to provide legal support to Muslims in Ontario and Manitoba, stay tuned. The Crown has concluded arguments against the Nathaniel Veltman case. The 22-year-old faces charges of murdering a Muslim family in London, Ontario 2 years ago. The trial began on September 11th. During the proceedings, the prosecution called upon 19 witnesses. These include local residents who witnessed the attack, a cab driver approached by Veltman to dial 911, and law enforcement officers who interacted with Veltman post-arrest. Evidence shows officers seizing electronics from Veltman's apartment, including a laptop, external hard drive, and a cell phone. Veltman faces charges of 4 counts of first-degree murder, 1 count of attempted murder, and associated terrorism charges. While the defense admits Veltman drove the truck that struck the Afzal family, they have yet to present their evidence. Under Canadian law, the onus is on the Crown to prove their case. Significant evidence points towards the attack being premeditated and motivated by extremist views. Evidence shows on the day of the attack, Veltman viewed a mass shooting video from New Zealand and read a manifesto from the involved terrorist. At the time of his arrest, he wore a military helmet, bulletproof vest, and a t-shirt spray-painted with a cross hinting at the Crusades. Veltman's manifesto, A White Awakening, showcases his beliefs against globalism, multiculturalism, and advocating for a white society. The trial will resume following the Thanksgiving Day weekend. Justice Renee Pomerantz has urged the jury to avoid media coverage and assess the evidence without bias or emotion. The Canadian Department of Justice has announced substantial funding for 2 important projects focused on Muslim communities in Ontario and Manitoba. The move is a step forward to address systemic racism in the justice system. Arif Virani, Canada's Minister of Justice, has announced that 2 Muslim organizations will receive the grant for the projects. The Muslim Legal Support Centre in Ontario and the Healthy Muslim Families Initiative in Manitoba will use the funds to provide legal education and support to Muslim community. The Muslim Legal Support Centre aims to combat Islamophobia and offers a range of services from workshops to virtual legal advice. Healthy Muslim Families' mission is also rooted in Islamic values. It focuses on improving access to justice for low-income and immigrant Muslims in Manitoba. The funding is part of the broader Justice Partnership and Innovation Program to provide a fair and inclusive Canadian justice system. According to recent statistics, nearly half of Canadian adults face serious legal problems. Marginalized communities face additional barriers related to gender, race, and religion. The new funding is meant to address such inequities. A recent pre-launch event for Muslim Media Hub has attracted Muslim journalists, filmmakers, and academia from across Canada. It is the brainchild of Let the Quran Speak, a TV show that has been focusing on Muslim narratives. For over 20 years, Let the Quran Speak has been enriching dialogue about Islam and Muslim experiences. The launch of Muslim Media Hub is being dubbed as significant. Dr. Safia Ali, Executive Director of Muslim Media Hub, says the idea behind establishing the hub is to use media to alter perceptions about Muslims.
Well, I'm really excited to share with you Muslim Media Hub, which we are developing a physical space in Streetsville, Mississauga, and it's going to be a place where Muslims can collaborate, work together, and develop new programs in order to change the landscape of the media for Muslims.
The Muslim Media Hub features TV and podcast studios, editing rooms, community zones, workshops, and meeting spaces. It also has a dedicated prayer area. Muslim creatives are working tirelessly to produce captivating content at the hub. A notable upcoming project is a documentary film titled Everyday Muslim Heroes. The documentary will spotlight the remarkable deeds of Muslims. Thank you for watching. Our news is produced by Muslim Network TV, which is a not-for-profit organization. We need your support for donations. Please scan the QR code on our broadcast or visit muslimnetwork.tv to donate now so we can continue to amplify the voices of Muslims in Canada and abroad.